Good morning. It is Wednesday, April 17th. We're 90 days out from July 16th, and we are in the midst of the DTD2, or we're in the midst of the week in which we are calling our Ds and our Os and texting our Ls. DTD2, do the database 2. It sounds like a Star Wars character. She is not. Do the database 2. It's a tool from a class from MAPS, Mega Achievement Productivity Systems. MAPS is like the educational arm of KW, or ARMS. There's two, probably. And this class is called Never Ending Referrals. It's delivered by Steve Schlueter, and the tool they created is DTD2, Do the Database 2, making sure as you move through your phone, you're moving through the entirety of the alphabet. 13 weeks and a quarter, 26 letters in the alphabet as of this morning at 8:31, unless that changes later today. So you're getting all the way through your phone without call bias. The challenge is sometimes, and I talked about this the other day, somebody was telling me in a coaching session that they have decided who and who will not be in their moving from their phone into their command. And I was like, that's amazing. Although we don't get to choose who might require our help in the future, right? We're not scratching it. The humans are not scratch tickets. We're not deciding today who can help us. We're nurturing relationships every day so we can be of service when we are top of mind because we keep showing up as humans in the gap. That's why DTD2 is so important. That's why we talk about it every morning. And it is always in the morning news in case you already forgot. If you're keeping score at home and you're ready for the quiz, we're calling our Ds and Os. We're texting our Ls. There. We're heading out of here. And the quick start wraps up. And then when we get into 9 o'clock, today it is contracts. Today it is the All Partners meeting. We are in Portsmouth and on the internet. So Massachusetts starts at 9 o'clock. Maine is at 10 o'clock. New Hampshire's at 11 o'clock. You've got Alice Kabaki. You've got Karen Hamilton and Susan Kenyon. Those three lovely ladies will take you through Mass, Maine, New Hampshire. That's all at kellertv.com. We do not record contracts class. It is not an evergreen conversation. We don't want things taken out of context. It is live only. You do have an opportunity to hang out with our brokers also on Mondays at 1 o'clock for Ask the Broker and Fridays at 1 o'clock for Essential Forms and Best Practices. And, of course, always available to reach out to all of your brokers if you need them. That's why we're here, to make sure you guys have everything you need to do the right next thing or the next right thing and move your clients towards home ownership or their next investment, or maybe finding somebody to come play with us, right? Because it's all about, we're looking for listings, buyers, investors, and, of course, more talent for our team. Excellent. So that's going on all day today. Then when we get to noontime, and it's never a perfect start. This is not network television. I can promise you that we will not be on Facebook Live exactly at 12. We're going to wrap up contracts. There'll be a little bit of break. If you're here in Portsmouth, you're getting sustenance from our dear friends at Movement Mortgage. The great Bradley Kelly and his team are going to feed you, as always. That's in-house here in Portsmouth. And then we're probably talking about 10 past 12. We're going to fire up Facebook Live. You will find the All Partners meeting on Facebook Live. A lot of stuff to talk about. We've got Red Day coming up first week of May. Tuesday, the 14th of May, we've got our KWCLM Classic, the third annual. It's back. It's at Nippo Lake. There's still some room for sponsorships and for teams. We'll be talking about that. And this Thursday, dear Lord, tomorrow, 1:30 to 2:30, we're going to touch on the fact that the great Antoinette Perez is going to grace us with her presence on the Zooms. So we will be having her. She's going to be doing a taste of Fierce Conversations, a phenomenal book from Susan Collins, Fierce Conversations. Antoinette Perez will take us through a 60-minute conversation about Fierce Conversations. And really, it's a chance for those of you that have never spent time with her, a phenomenal teacher and a great coach inside the KW ecosystem. She's coming back late September. I want to say it's Thursday the 26th. Please don't quote me. But if Thursday is the 26th of September, I'm close to right. I think we're going to do it in the Lakes region. She's going to come back and do a full day class. And I have an idea of what it's going to be. We sort of spitballed what she's going to deliver. I can promise you, if Antoinette Perez was available for 8 hours and she was going to read me a list of bad phone numbers, I would show up. So it's going to be worth your while. Just put some velvet ropes around September 26th. It's a Thursday, I believe. More details as, of course, we get to September, but she is coming back so you can meet her face and start to glean some of her greatness tomorrow, 1:30 to 2:30 on the Zooms. It'll be in the morning news. It's also at kwclmhub.com. That's a lot of information, and we're here now. What I wanted to talk about today was willpower. There's a great book. If you haven't heard of it, this doesn't look familiar because most of you probably have a version with a dust cover. The dust cover is white. And it's got the one thing on the front of it. This is The One Thing, written by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. And, the premise of this book, if you've ever been in the Shark Tank here in Portsmouth, or you've heard us talk about the focusing question, the focusing question from The One Thing is, what is the one thing that I can do that such by doing it, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary? What is the one thing that I can do that such by doing it, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary? Now, people don't want to hear me say this, but as your friend and your coach, like me or not, and I know how that vote falls, it's lead generation. That is our job, right? The leads are the fuel of our business, right? And they who have the lead have the business. They who have the listing control the opportunity, right? Because if we have the listing, we have already chosen our zip code. We've chosen our price point. We've already had a conversation with our seller about our compensation. So lead generation is always going to be our one thing when it comes to being in sales. And if you don't like being called a salesperson, I need you to get over it, climb under it, or light it on fire. It's written on your license. And being a salesperson doesn't mean we have to be salesy. Being a salesperson means we have to guide the people that we are entrusted to serve to a decision point of what is appropriate for them to do next, what will benefit them and their loved ones now. That's our goal. My goal is not to sell. My goal is to guide and help people make decisions. The root, for those of you who are Latin scholars, decision, the word decide is to cut off all other options, right? We talk about this all the time. Usually, the heaviest weight we can carry as a human is the unmade decision. That's our job. This is what we're navigating our consumers and clients through, right? Consumers and future clients. So I wanted to share with you, and I threw it, I'm going to, obviously the title of this quick start is going to be willpower is not on will call. And I'm in The One Thing, and this is on chapter 68. They did a study of the Israeli parole system. The Israeli parole system, and what they found, and it's something that we should be well aware of, that, the benefit we always talk about, the fact that we are in real estate. The greatest part about real estate is we're in charge. And the worst part of real estate is we're in charge. And you hear me say again and again and again, if we treat our mornings like jobs, we get to treat our afternoons like careers, and I will stand by that. And being in charge of ourselves means we also need to self-manage. And sometimes that is taking a break, stepping away. And that's what we learn in this chapter. So on page 68, story time. I know I read you the rooster and the hen yesterday. It's almost like, when you go into the library, you're in grade school, and everybody sits crisscross applesauce because we can't say the other thing anymore. And you're listening to the teacher or the librarian read. That's what we're doing. So cuddle up. Here we go. The researchers analyzed, and again, this is a research done by the Ben Gurion University, and they studied the Israeli parole system. Researchers analyzed 1,112 parole board hearings assigned to 8 judges over a 10-month period. The pace is grueling, of course. The judges hear arguments and take about 6 minutes to render a decision on 14 to 35 parole requests per day. Now, what they found, and there's a chart in here, there's pictures. I knew you'd love that. Pictures on page 69 in The One Thing. If you don't have The One Thing yet, I love you and you're doing it wrong. I would jump on the Amazons. Don't forget, everything's available at Keller Inc. Although Keller Inc., I find Keller Inc. seems to be a little more costly. And I know Gary's listening. Hi, Gary, you look great. I'm still going to send you guys to Amazon. If you punch in The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, you'll see all of the other books populate. And I would tell you should get The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. You should have a copy of Shift. You should grab a copy of Hold. There's a lot of books, Tim. I know. And you should definitely have The One Thing. A great read about the focusing question. What is the one thing that I can do that such by doing everything else becomes easier or unnecessary? So they basically showed, as these judges go through their process, obviously, and this would bear well for us as well, right? Like right now, I'm on a kick right now because I always get my cold brew, but getting a cold brew at a coffee shop, it's not really benefiting me. So now I'm mixing. I've got Core 42. I've got some Premier Protein. I've been mixing this with this, which is ironically from Austin. It's called cold brew, high brew. Very good. So I'm mixing my own cold brew with my own protein shake. The cold brew is 10 calories. The protein shake is 170 calories. And I'm getting my cold brew in as opposed to from a coffee shop. We're talking 240 to 300 calories. I'm losing you, but stay with me. My point is I'm nutrifying myself. I'm awake, I'm shaved, I'm showered, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to start the day. The energy is here. So when the judge starts their day, much the same. They're coming off breakfast. They're coming off coffee. It's the start of the day. Their energy is here. The point being, and what they're talking about in this chapter is willpower is not on will call. We cannot at 4:45 possibly have the same energy that we have at 8:40 in the morning. Now, what throws us off that thought process is, well, my phone's good all day. Well, your phone's good all day. I mean, and depending on how old your phone, this is a iPhone 13. So this is going to be 3 years old in September. And obviously, if I'm at an event, if I'm going from my house to my car to my desk, like I can always throw it on a charger. We're always near chargers. So we start to lose our minds. We're like, no, my phone lasts all day. I'm just like my phone. I have to last all day. No, you don't. Our energy will dissipate. Our willpower is not on will call. You can take a nap. You could have a coffee. A coffee is going to be fake energy. That's going to spike you and crash you. So they notice the judges coming in are good. And the people that saw the judge, when the judge first came in, he or she was giving them favorable judgments. More people got paroled at the top of the shift. As it got close to morning break, people were getting sent back to prison. Then judge comes off coffee break. People are getting paroled again. And then it landslides into lunch. Back from lunch, better. Towards afternoon break, bad. After afternoon break, good. And towards the end of the day. So if you were going to see the judge, you wanted to be coming off of a break, not at the end of the day. People always joke about this. If you could pick when your car was built, and I'm not going to admonish any particular dealership, or brand, I should say. But if I'm going to go buy my next Ford F-150, I hope it was built on Wednesday at 9 a.m. Not Monday morning, not Friday afternoon, right? Because people are walking in Monday morning like, oh my God, I can't believe the Cowboys lost because there's a lot of Fords built in Texas, right? So they're tired, they're hungover, they're angry. And it's 9:01. I suppose union, it's 8:01. First shift, 7:01. They're going to be in a bad mood. That truck might suck. And if you're a Chevy owner, you're like, well, it's a Ford. Of course it would. And I also don't want them throwing it together Friday while they're getting ready to walk out the door. I would like Wednesday at about 10:30, middle of the week. Their fast twitch muscles are moving. My Ford F-150 is going to be airtight. It's the same thing. I say all this to remind you that we have the ability to step away and clear our cache. I know I've talked about this before. In my process as your coach, I'll sit, and today's going to be different. Obviously, we've got all partners. There's a lot going on, but I'll get into this afternoon, and I've got back-to-back one-on-ones. There's some days that I come out of a meeting, a national call at 12 o'clock, and between 1 and 5 o'clock, I'm going to do 8 back-to-back 30-minute one-on-ones. And you'll notice when you're visiting with me on Zoom or even in the office, my Alexa on my desk, she goes off at 29 past the hour, 59 past the hour. So as I escort somebody out of the room or off the Zoom, I can take a second to make sure that I'm doing some box breathing, that I'm clearing my cache, that I'm bringing clean energy into the next conversation. So I stress all the time, if we treat our mornings like a job, we get to treat our afternoons like a career, and we also have the ability to step away. We are in charge of our process. And in our self-management, we have to give ourselves some time to recharge, to take a deep breath. Because the next conversation, the next civilian, the next consumer that we engage deserves our best. And you guys are phenomenal. And you deserve to give yourself the time to show up for those people, so they don't get the Monday morning version of you that's coming off the weekend, or the Friday afternoon that your head is already out of the game. You give them fresh off the break, full of coffee. You had your bagel. You're feeling good, and you bring that clean energy to your next conversation to serve the clients that we're entrusted to serve in the states in which we work. If I can help with these conversations, please let me know. It is 603-834-2856. You can also book my face at meetwithcoach.com. We'll see you for contracts starting at 9 o'clock, Mass, Maine, New Hampshire. And then we're right into the All Partners meeting just after 12 here in Portsmouth and on Facebook Live. Have a phenomenal day. We'll see you soon.